Now that's original.
Hello there, Acorns. There won't be a lot of commentary with today's original song, but I wanted to do a little bit at the beginning to kind of explain what you might expect in this video. This is going to be about a song that Pap wrote, but it's a song that I didn't really know. So in this video, I'm really just playing around with the song is maybe not the right way to say it, because I did give a serious effort to it, but you're almost seeing me learn the song, so to speak, in the video. So I shot a couple of videos of me singing the song from beginning to end, and then a couple of videos of me attempting to play the melody of the song on the guitar. And then I just kind of whirled around and turned the camera around and gave it a try on the piano. Now, I'm really not a piano player, and again, just trying to learn the song, but maybe you can see the potential of how pretty this song would be on a piano for someone who really knew how to play it. And through this whole process, I've kind of fallen in love with the song and decided that at some point I should try to record it in a studio, learn it better, try to record it, and maybe include piano. Either keep working on it until I can get my piano playing kind of passable through trial and error in the recording, or maybe ask my buddy Josh Griggs or reach out to another piano player, because it's such a pretty song. I think it was back on the Cremation of Sam McGee song, one of the Acorns commented something like that the melody was a song worm in her brain that would just kind of keep running all day. And that's been my experience with this song. The melody of it is just in my brain. And so that's why I just kept fooling with it, trying, more things with it. And so you'll hear, like I said, a couple of attempts from me and then a couple of attempts on the guitar. And I was doing all this really from memory without going back and listening to the recording that Pat made with his brothers and his sister, Carrie. But at the very end of the video, if you watch it that far, you'll also get to hear their original recording of it. And you'll see the personnel who and all was involved with making that recording. You'll hear my Uncle Henry play it on guitar, who plays it dramatically, markedly different and better than how I tried to play it. My only complaint about Uncle Henry's guitar playing on the song is that he had heavy chorus turned on his electric guitar, which was something that was really popular in the 80s. I never liked it. To me, it's a very unnatural sound. You could argue the same thing, that reverb isn't natural, or even playing an electric guitar in the first place isn't natural. But to me, there's just a big difference. Reverb, it's kind of an echo, which does happen naturally. And then an electric guitar, depending on how you kind of have everything set and what that amplification is like, it can have a somewhat natural sound. But to me, chorus, I'm glad it's a fad that kind of came and went in the 80s and early 90s, and you don't hear it much anymore, because to me, it's beautiful guitar playing that he did, but it's kind of, the chorus takes away from it. Enough about that. To me, this is a very hard song to sing. None of Pap's songs are easy per se, but this one is very difficult because it has a lot of long holds where you have to hold a note, for a very long time. And I thought it was interesting that Carrie his sister wound up singing the song on the recording, because that's kind of how I would describe her style of singing. Very pure and kind of straight. Very little, almost no vibrato, just kind of holding a pure note. So this song worked well for her. It's a more difficult song for me to sing. The recording that they made is good when I consider that they traveled, all of them loaded up in vehicles and traveled a long way to wherever they made this recording. It was one of those, they were not on a record label, so it was one of those pay your own way kind of situations where they were paying the studio. So they all had to go in there, pile out of the car, go in there and just record all this stuff, and then pile back in the car and come home. And then they had to do it with headphones, which is something they were not used to doing. Just sort of mountain Appalachian folks used to sitting around and doing everything together. as opposed to overdubbing it a piece at a time. So I think it turned out pretty well considering those challenging situations. A lot of you all like to see Pap's handwritten lyrics, so I looked through my stash and I did find some handwritten lyrics to this song. Those will appear. You can even see them right here behind me now. They'll appear in the video for about 5 seconds or so, but you can always pause it and look if you want to. And I may have sung a few words here or there slightly different from how he has them written here, and even maybe than from how Carrie sang it. But a lot of times when I sing one of Pap's songs, I'm basing it on the way the song sort of wound up with him singing it and polishing it and moving things around. He tinkered with his songs a lot. And so a lot of times if you hear me sing a song and it's different than how he appeared to have originally wrote it, it's because he himself made those changes. Very rarely would I make any kind of change to what Pap wrote. But this is a beautiful song. If anybody's watching this and you make gospel music and you want to sing this song, please do. That's the whole point of what I'm doing. I wouldn't really be even running this YouTube channel or making any recordings if not for my goal, which is really to try to keep his songs alive. They're too good of songs to just vanish away. And as I've said before, unfortunately, he and Ray, they mostly covered other people's songs. I really wish they had spent more time learning good arrangements and good performances of the songs that he wrote, because they're great gospel songs. Enough about the video. I'll let you start actually watching the video.
You may complain you've missed life's treasures and you failed to reach your goal. Here on earth you find no pleasure and your sorrows are untold. But if you neglect God's mercy and heed not his gentle call, more than all you may have longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. You will miss a loved one's presence when they've reached their final goal. But unless you seek salvation, you'll miss heaven most of all. And if you neglect God's mercy and heed not his gentle call, more than all you may have longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. The gate is straight, the way is narrow, where eternal life awaits. So it's best that you not tarry, for so many miss that gate. If you neglect his mercy, heeding not his gentle call. More than all you could ever long for, you'll miss heaven most of all. More than all you've ever longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. You may complain you've missed life's treasure, and you failed to reach your goal. Here on earth you find no pleasure, and your sorrows are untold. But if you neglect God's mercy and heed not his gentle call, more than all you may have longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. You will miss a loved one's presence when they've reached their final goal. But unless you seek salvation, you'll miss heaven most of all. If you neglect God's mercy and heed not his gentle call, more than all you may have longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. The gate is straight, the way is narrow, where eternal life awaits. So it's best that you not tarry, for so many miss that gate. Neglect God's mercy, heeding not his gentle call, more than all you could ever long for, you'll miss heaven most of all. More than all you've ever longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. complain you've missed life's pleasures. Nope, you may complain you've missed life's treasures, and you failed to reach your goal. Here on earth you find no pleasure, and your sorrows are untold. But if you neglect God's mercy and heed not His gentle call, more than all you may have longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. You will miss a loved one's presence when they've reached their final goal. But unless you seek salvation, you'll miss heaven most of all. And if you neglect God's mercy, heeding not His gentle call, more than all you may have longed for, you'll miss heaven most of all. You'll miss heaven most of all.
Work in progress.
You may complain you miss life's pleasures, and you fail to reach your goal. In this life you find no pleasure, and your sorrows are untold. But if you neglect God's mercy and heed not His gentle call, more than all you may have longed for, you'll